Hey, go getters, it's Coach Kim, and welcome back to another Women Willpower Wednesdays. I'm still getting over a cold, but I do feel better. I have a cough drop in my mouth, so please bear with me because I really don't want to be coughing throughout this video. So let's get started with this week. This week's topic is growing pains, right? Everybody want to grow, but nobody wants to go through the pain of growing. So, what does growing pains look like? Had a great conversation with my father earlier today, and me and him, we always take a memory lane type of approach when it comes to our lives and what we have accomplished to now. So, what I want you to do starting today, because it's almost the end of February, I want you to start looking at your life from January 1, 2020, right, until now. What has happened good in your life? What has happened not so good in your life? And what are some things you want to change? Because believe it or not, March 1st is going to be here. The end of March is going to be here soon. And that means first quarter is going to be over before you know it. So just take a mid-level check and kind of, check your pulse and really give some time to think about what have you been growing in your life. Because sometimes growing isn't easy, especially if you're like the first generation college student, if you're the first generation doctor, if you're the first person to do anything within your family. This may cause some growing pains because you may don't have anybody to kind of talk to along your path. Think about your career. Maybe you're the first person, or maybe the first black person, first woman, first man, depending on who's watching this. Think about your career. Where is your life right now? What are some things you accomplished? What are some things you want to do? And what has that growing pain look like for you? Because believe it or not, when I used to work in corporate America, I was like sometimes the only black woman at the table. And the shit was stressful, right? And so I look at those growing pains of things that I've learned, things that I did well, things that I could have done better. And I want you to start thinking about your life, your growth journey. What are some things you're doing really, really well? What are some things you're not doing so well? And what are some things you want to work on? Because growth requires you to check yourself on a regular basis, right? That means you need to look at your path in a growing state, but also be aware of the pains that you're going to encounter. Sometimes people endure the pain of doing things alone, and that's okay. But I'm going to challenge you in 2020 to don't do it alone, right? Get somebody, a coach like me, or get a sister group or a brother group, and start doing things where people can specifically help you for whatever that growth journey that you're on, because there's going to be some pains, right, that you encounter. And I want you to know you don't have to do it alone. One of the growing pains that I'm going through right now, I actually just came back from Atlanta for a week, and I was actually in class for my doctoral studies. And when I got here, I was meeting all these women and men and people from all different ages, different places. And I really found out with this week of study that I was not alone, right? So I was having these growing pains of doing an online doctoral program and actually having to go face to face at residency to meet my cohort, as well as to meet my professors. And while I was there, like all the things that I was stressing about, I noticed like, wow, there are some people stressing about those same things, or there are some people that I was able to talk through things with, and then I no longer had those stressors in my life. So I want to encourage you, whatever you may be going through, start thinking about it, write it down, or whatever technical device that you may use. And I want you to start identifying what those things are as you go along your growth journey, to really encourage you to get amongst some people who can help you. Because I am just so relieved that I have a sister circle within my doctoral program who are able to help me, and I'm able to help them, and we're just able to collaborate more. So I want you this week to jot down your growth journey from January 1 to right now. What are some things that you know you've done really, really well? What are some things you haven't done quite so well? And what are some things you want to work on? Okay? I am Coach Kim. Growing pains happen. We just need to identify them so that way we're aware of it, and we need to know we're not alone. See you next week.